Now, you probably remember, wherever you are in Canada, the case of a man in Toronto, David Chen. He was a storekeeper who dared to defend himself against a habitual thief who targeted Chen's store. The police did very little, so Chen did, and he was then charged. And the criminal who committed the offence offered a lesser sentence if he testified against Mr. Chen. Now, MP Olivia Chow, NDP, of course, she went to bat for him, so to speak, and she's in Ottawa. Now, Olivia, what you've said about all this is terrific. You want people to have more rights to defend themselves. But hold on, you're in the NDP. You don't believe in this sort of thing, do you?
It's common sense, Michael. A store owner that tries to defend himself and his property should not be charged by the police. David Chen was being charged for confinement, for assault, for holding on to some dangerous weapons that happens to be his box cutter. You know, yeah. A grocer has to have a box cutter. So I just thought that this is just outrageously unfair. And so that's why I put together a private member's bill, and I named it Lucky Moose Bill, because his store, David Chen's store, is called Lucky Moose. Yep. And I'm very happy that this private member's bill have been borrowed by the Conservative government, which is great, and it's now C26, yep. And it's been at the committee. It's gone through second reading. It will come back to the House of Commons for third reading, and hopefully it will become law real soon.
Now, it's wonderful. You're writing legislation for the Conservative government. I think this is great. But David, look, there's a few other cases. You know these, obviously. But Ian Thompson, a homeowner, house attacked by firebombers. He shot a warning shot into a tree. He was charged. Another guy escorting his girlfriend home. Her place had been broken into. He entered. There was a struggle. There was a knife. He was charged. Lawrence Manza, intruders on his neighbour's property. Unloaded shotgun. He was charged with possession of a firearm. Joseph Singleton, wounded. I mean, it goes on and on. People who have tried to defend themselves reasonably, and they've been charged. And, I mean, listen, I support you here, and I also believe you that you really care about this. But I know there are people on the left of the political spectrum who think it's wrong that people should have any sort of arms. They shouldn't defend themselves. It should be the police. It should be the state. Have the rest of your party supported you in this?
Yes, my party is 100% behind me. So let me explain the criminal code right now. The criminal code said that you can do a citizen's arrest. You can do a citizen's arrest when the person is stealing something, and then you catch the person. The problem is that if you catch the person inside a store, the person will say, well, I'm about to go and pay. Yeah. So you can arrest the person if that person is not successful, i.e. you can't really arrest the person. But once the person's once the person leave the store and not pay, if you go and try to catch him, the criminal code said that, well, he's already committed a crime, it's too late. Which is the case of David Chen. He was catching the person after the person left the store. Yes. And he's saying that, wait a second, I've called the police several times. The day before, he called the police, he waited for 5 hours, and nothing happened. And this guy just keeps coming in. We're just going to chase him. He didn't do anything for this fellow. He just wanted the police. He was calling the police to get the police to come, to hold the person. That's right. So the present law already allow you to do so during the act. So my bill basically said, let's make it a bit more flexible, so that within reasonable time that you can still do the
interrupting you, but what about when it comes to someone who has a legally registered firearm? So not a gangster, someone who, let's say it's a farmer. Let's say it's a farmer and he has a shotgun, and there are people, there are a couple of thugs, and they're very dangerous, and they're probably armed, certainly with knives, if not guns, and they're trying to break in, and he goes outside and fires into the air. Do you think that's a valid form of self-defense?
I don't know. I'm not a criminal lawyer. I just know existing. I just know the existing law in terms of the citizen's arrest. What this bill that is in front of the House of Commons does is actually is the citizen's arrest portion, but it also deals with, it clarifies the law as it comes to self-defense. So I don't know that part of the law as well. My area is really on the citizen's arrest situation. So you hear people saying, oh, wouldn't that increase vigilantes? No, because right now you already have the right to do citizen's arrest. Most of the store owners I've spoken to across Canada are saying, look, we rather not take matters in our own hands.
Sure.
We call the police. We prefer to have police that comes to the store and we get to know them, and that we can take pictures of them. By the way, there's video cameras all over the place, so they know who it is that's doing the job, that's stealing. So the store owners are saying that we rather call the police, but sometimes when there's absolutely no choice, we want to do the citizen's arrest. And most ordinary store owners are not Rambo type.
No, of course not.
No, they're not out
storekeepers.
to, that's right, that's
Yeah.
right. They're not out to beat someone up.
All right. Look,
as to self-defense, I can't really tell you.
Okay, Olivia, this is wonderful. You're becoming more conservative, more sensible. You're writing legislation for the Conservatives. I love it. Thank you. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you very much, Michael.